Thanks, Matt. This morning, healthcare workers are asking you to hold off on going to the emergency room unless it's a true emergency. This coming as Omicron runs rampant and Virginia faces its fifth COVID surge of the pandemic. 8 News reporter Autumn Childress is live in Richmond this morning to explain. Good morning, Autumn.
Hey there, Rachel. Good morning. Hospitals are seeing an influx of patients coming in with mild COVID symptoms and some with no symptoms at all. So this morning, healthcare workers are urging people to leave those emergency resources for people who need them. Now, the Virginia Department of Health and the Virginia Hospital and Healthcare Association released a joint statement on this. They say if you have mild COVID symptoms, so a cough, runny nose, or a sore throat, go to your primary care doctor. Emergency COVID symptoms are difficulty breathing, intense chest pain, or a high temperature. The agency says unnecessary trips put a strain on an already burdened hospital staff, also delaying care and using up resources. Now, by the numbers this morning, more than 2,000 people are in the hospital with COVID in Virginia. On December 1st, it was only 922. Right now, hospitals are staying afloat with this surge, but doctors say we likely won't see the peak for several more weeks. So this morning, doctors again are continuing their push to get the vaccine and the booster shot. Data continues to show that the majority of people hospitalized with COVID are unvaccinated. Live in Richmond this morning, Autumn Childress, 8 News.
Thanks, Autumn. Well, along with that, the CDC says now is not the time to take a cruise, regardless of your coronavirus vaccination status. Investigators are looking at more than 90 cruise ships with cases of COVID-19 fueled by the Omicron variant. The Cruise Lines International Association says it's disappointed with the new recommendations, adding that the industry is being singled out. Richmond Public Schools is giving out 8,000 at-home COVID tests. The tests will be available to students and staff before returning from winter break on January 3rd. Families can pick up the tests on January 2nd from 12 to 4 in the afternoon at Thomas Henderson Middle, Broad Rock Elementary, Cardinal Elementary, or Martin Luther King Jr. Middle. Richmond's public housing is resuming evictions. Protections end today for tenants behind on rent payments. The city's public housing authority says it will start sending out 30-day notices for eviction in January. For those unable to pay, the office is offering a few options. You can apply for rent relief, enter a repayment agreement, or utilize services like child care and workforce training. Virginia is launching a statewide mortgage relief program to help people who have struggled to pay during the pandemic. The state got more than $258 million from federal governments to help. To be eligible, homeowners must have experienced lower income or higher expenses after January 21st, 2020. We have details on how to apply at WRIC.com. In Richmond, new details about a shooting that left an elderly man dead just steps away from his own backyard. 71-year-old Calvin Hubbard was gunned down in an alley in Richmond's north side Wednesday. Now, Richmond hasn't seen a homicide toll like this since 2006. More than 90 people have been killed this year. His family tells 8 News the last thing they want is for their loved one to be remembered as a number.
The people in that area, they know him very, very well. He's just showed love to everybody. He was the uncle that would spoil us at family get-togethers. When mom would say no candy, no sweets, he would be the one that would sneak it to us.
Richmond police have limited suspect information. If you know anything about what happened, give police a call. A pregnant bulldog abandoned in Richmond found in a baby pool by an elementary school dumpster. This morning, Richmond Animal Care and Control is hoping someone comes forward with information. Robin Young of RACC said bulldogs rarely give birth naturally. With pneumonia and an infection throughout her body, vets were trying to save her. Her 2 unborn puppies died.
Whoever did this knew that she was pregnant, knew that she was in labor, and more than likely knew that she was in distress. And after she didn't give birth, continued to have trouble, it just seems as if they abandoned her, they dumped her. And you know, at this point, we just want to find out who this dog belonged to and seek justice for her and her puppies.
RACC is asking anyone with information about who might have done this to contact their Facebook or reach out to Richmond Crime Stoppers. Now to a crime alert out of New Kent. The sheriff's office is looking for the people they say are responsible for 2 break-ins. You're looking here at pictures taken from the security cam footage yesterday morning. Officers say the suspects forced their way into Milton's Pizza and Subs and Exxon Pit, stealing items from both businesses. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers. In Chesterfield, police are looking for this man accused of fraud. They say he deposited fraudulent checks at the Navy Federal Credit Union on Hull Street Road. He was also seen on bank surveillance footage depositing checks in Georgia. If you know who this is, give Chesterfield Police or Crime Solvers a call. The Hanover County Sheriff's Office is warning residents about a new scam, claiming there is a new way to test for COVID-19. Now, scammers pretending to be the United Kingdom's National Health Service are sending emails offering a new COVID-19 Omicron PCR test. This isn't a real offer. If you get this email, do not click the link and keep an eye out for suspicious emails like this one. The future of Richmond's Confederate monuments is coming into focus. Ownership of them will soon be handed over to the Black History Museum. Governor Ralph Northam and Mayor LeVar Stoney announcing the Valentine will partner with the museum to determine the statue's final resting place. The Black History Museum's lawyer says the plan will prioritize the voices of residents over the next year.
They want to take a creative approach and maybe a non-traditional approach of meeting people where they are. So instead of forcing citizens to come home early from work or take off work to come to a community meeting, for instance, they might be doing surveys and asking people what they think when they're already out.
The community engagement plan will be announced in the next few weeks. Still ahead, devastating blazes putting hundreds of homes in danger. Why experts say this could be one of the worst fires in Colorado's history. And a large Tesla recall is raising concerns about safety, what drivers should be on the lookout for. Time now is 9:09 here on a Friday morning, and you're watching 8 News at 9, covering news where you live. Quite the foggy start to our Friday, but don't go anywhere. We're back in a moment.
Just about 9:12, and we're taking a look at our Virginia War Memorial camera. Obviously, the big story all morning long has been the fog. Again, reducing visibilities, that fog trying to lift. Even when it does lift, we're still going to have lots of clouds today. Temperatures will climb into the middle 60s. Many of you are hearing about the potential for snow or wintry weather on Monday. And I thought I'd break down a couple of things. I just put an article up at WRIC.com. You can really hear and watch and read my full thoughts on a nice video with that, too. Rain's going to come in Sunday in 2 waves. The first wave will be early in the morning. That'll be done by about noon, 2 o'clock, and out of here. Then we're going to warm up into the middle to upper 60s. The second rain starts to come in by Sunday evening. What the models, a few of them, are trying to show is colder air coming in behind it to get in here Monday morning. That would change the rain over to a wintry mix or snow. The problem is it's very tough to get accumulations from that type of system because usually the cold air doesn't arrive in time because typically that moisture is out of here in time. We get a little bit of a mix, but that's about it. Plus, with this situation, we're super warm. Ground is warm, roadways are warm. Here's what I'm looking at real quick, just to give you an idea. Again, lots of clouds. Here we are Sunday, too. That first wave of rain moving away. We're dry. We're in the mid to upper 60s. And then by Sunday evening, here comes some rain. That rain will be light at first, then steadier as we head to 1 a.m., maybe heavy at times. Here's some of that cold air trying to pull in, and you see the wintry mix with a little bit of snow. Again, models indicating that. The problem is when the cold air really arrives, bulk of the moisture is out. This is really light stuff. So at best, maybe a brief light wintry mix for some of you for that ride in on Monday. Don't get your hopes up for big snow, though. Let's go back to Rachel Keller for more news.
Thanks, Matt. Wildfires are ripping through Colorado at staggering speeds. A state of emergency was declared overnight. Wind-fueled fires have burned hundreds of homes in Boulder County. That's right near Denver. It's already the most destructive fire in Colorado history. The destruction fueled by hot conditions and wind gusts go up to 100 miles per hour. At least 6 people have been taken to the hospital. Authorities expect that number to grow.
Due to the magnitude of this fire, the intensity of this fire, and its presence in such a heavily populated area, we would not be surprised if there are injuries or fatalities.
Authorities are frantically evacuating residents. All 13,000 residents in the town of Superior were told to leave immediately. Tesla is recalling nearly 500,000 cars. The company says in 2017 to 2020 Model 3 cars, the rear camera may not work, which could cause a crash. And in earlier models, the front trunk latch could be misaligned and the hood could open without warning. Tesla will make all repairs for free. Coming up, Walmart is pushing forward in the fight against COVID-19, how they're helping those that catch the virus. And we've all been inspired and influenced by remarkable women. Now is your chance to nominate a woman who's made a difference in your life or the lives of others. Head to WRIC.com to share her story and enter her in our Remarkable Women contest. You'll be featured right here on 8 News. You have the end of tonight to submit your entries. Welcome back. New COVID-19 cases rage on this New Year's Eve for the third day in a row, with record numbers in the U.S. Health leaders continue to urge against large gatherings this holiday as airlines warn of heavy travel delays. ABC's M. Nguyen has the latest from Washington.
This morning, urgent concerns on New Year's Eve as the U.S. breaks records once again, averaging 316,000 new COVID-19 cases a day, up nearly fourfold from a month ago. Daily COVID-related deaths averaging 1,100. Hospitalizations climbing as well, with 90,000 Americans admitted with COVID each day, double from last month. Top health officials advising against large holiday gatherings.
That would be a risky situation that I would recommend against.
Pediatric cases are soaring, with 380 children landing in the hospital a day, a 66% increase from about a week ago.
You have an undervaccinated or relatively unvaccinated population of children with a highly contagious virus, and this virus is seeking out the susceptible, and that is children.
Now, ABC confirming the FDA is expected to expand Pfizer boosters for ages 12 to 15, an authorization that may come as early as Monday. This as travel frustrations rise. The Federal Aviation Administration now warning severe weather and the pandemic are likely to trigger more delays as more employees test positive for COVID. The CEO of JetBlue saying staff sick calls are running up to 300% above normal.
We are seeing a lot of people who are out sick, but also people whose anxiety is rising again.
New York State is seeing another record-breaking day of 74,000 new COVID-19 cases, a testament to the pandemic not slowing down as we approach the new year. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Walmart and Sam's Club pharmacies are ready to receive and give out COVID-19 antiviral medications. The pills were recently authorized by the FDA for emergency use. The pharmacies say they'll begin dispensing the medication as soon as this week. The medication is only available with a prescription from a healthcare provider.
The most accurate forecast in Central Virginia. Now, your Storm Tracker 8 weather.
Time to get a full check on the forecast with Storm Tracker 8 meteorologist Matt DiNardo. It's already warming up out there.
Yeah, we're sitting in the lower to middle 50s right now. And one of the things that I've been talking about is the risk of some showers later this evening. Unfortunately, for those of you going out to dinner, or maybe you're going to be ringing in the new year, you see those showers out in Tennessee. They're going to be here a little bit later on. In fact, taking a look at that New Year's Eve forecast, maybe you're doing dinner around 8 p.m., a late dinner, lots of clouds, a few showers, 62. When we're saying goodbye to 2021 and hello to 2022, 59 degrees, and you see some showers in the mix there. Of course, tomorrow there's going to be a better risk of seeing more rain in the morning, but that rain may be done by noon. We might see some breaks of sun in the afternoon, but we're getting up to 70. So that's your New Year's Day forecast. Let's put it all together. Here's Futurecast. We'll start you off today at noon. And, of course, by that point, the fog is done, but the low clouds still persist. Not so great. Maybe a few highlights to sunshine early this afternoon before those clouds roll back in. And here we go, 6 o'clock, started to bring in the risk of a few showers. We're going to keep that risk in through 8 p.m. and then through midnight. Then a lull for a while, but around 3, 4 in the morning, our next batch of rain slides in. That batch of rain, as I mentioned, will be with us through noon, then slide northward. Maybe if we get lucky, a few breaks in the clouds tomorrow afternoon before the sun sets. But look at that southerly wind easily pushing us again, upper 60s to near 70. Clouds will thicken up as we go into Sunday morning, and here comes some rain by Sunday morning. That rain will be with us until about noon to 2 o'clock. This is wave number 1 of what I was talking about with that Sunday system. As that exits, we'll stay with the clouds. Notice the winds out of the south. We're going to climb again into the upper 60s on Sunday. Later Sunday evening, we'll start to see some rain developing. Light at first. Sunday night around midnight, that rain picks up in intensity. Steady rain, maybe heavy rain at times, into early Monday morning. And again, models trying to, some of them, pull in some cooler air to bring us that changeover, that snow, that wintry mix. But notice by 5 a.m. here, the bulk of the moisture is way out to sea. A lot of this is very light stuff. And because of the fact that we are going to be so warm on Sunday, our roads, our lawns, way above freezing, anything that is a wintry mix will melt and not really stick to the roads. Therefore, I'm not expecting problems on the roads Monday morning. Just keep that in mind. By 9 o'clock, the sun shines back. So it's a very short window, too. 66 today, spotty evening showers. Tomorrow, showers end by noon, up to 70, lots of clouds. Sunday, wave 1 in the morning, rain, and then the second batch of rain comes in the evening and at night. Could end as a brief wintry mix early Monday morning before the sun returns. Certainly cooler Monday, 43, and then 50s Tuesday and Wednesday. Time right now for Traffic Tracker 8, and the issue we've been watching here at 95 southbound near Arthur Ashe is causing some backup delays up to the tech center here as you're rounding the bend. And the reason for that, more and more people are moving over. They see the flashing lights. So our volume is picked up because many people are off today. Now they're getting out and about at 9 o'clock. And this tractor-trailer crash happened very early this morning. That tractor-trailer is on its side. And again, the container, the whole thing has got to be removed. That's been taking some time, as you would imagine. We have another accident, Pocahontas Parkway, the entry ramp from 95 northbound. Just keep that in mind. And again, traffic cameras are looking good. Just volume starting to pick up in a few areas. You're watching 8 News at 9. It's 9:25. We'll be right back. Time right now is 9:27. Welcome back. You're watching 8 News at 9. Lots of clouds out there, some fog, which is burning off, but not a pretty day today. Highs in the mid-60s. Your full forecast in just a matter of minutes.
All right, folks, time to check out what's trending this morning. There's a new Maasai giraffe baby at the Virginia Zoo. The male calf was born on Tuesday. Maasai giraffes are currently listed as endangered species. He was 159 pounds. 5'9" when he was born. Zookeepers say he appears strong and is nursing well. He's also already learning to run. The baby doesn't have a name yet, but a naming contest is in the works. It'll be announced on the zoo's Facebook page. My vote is Spots.
I like Clark.
Why?
I don't know. I just like Clark. I just, I see it, I think of Clark.
Okay, Clark.
Anyway.
You should go vote.
5'9", though, at birth. That's a big child.
That's what some people want to be and don't ever get there. But the giraffe is 5'9" at birth.
At birth, yep.
Good for Clark.
I'm shrinking down to 5'9".
Still ahead, it is New Year's Eve, and Times Square is ready with all the sights and sounds, as you can imagine. A preview of Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve on its 50th anniversary.
You're watching 8 News. News where you live.
Good morning, Richmond. Thanks so much for joining us for 8 News at 9. I'm Rachel Keller. Storm Tracker 8 meteorologist Matt DiNardo has a look at your forecast, but first a quick check on the roads. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning once again, Rachel. Good morning, everybody, and happy New Year's Eve. Hope you're doing well this morning. We are looking at a problem on 95 near Arthur Ashe Boulevard. It's a tractor-trailer crash happened early this morning. Still in the process of cleaning up. It's not blocking any lanes of travel, but look for some slow go in that area, I should say. All right, here's what's happening this morning. We're looking at some clouds, and we've had some fog. That fog continues to burn off. 53 degrees outside right now. That was a nice view from our Midas camera out in Shore Pump. 6 miles visibility, 10 miles in crew. We were at a quarter to a half mile this morning, so that's a great improvement. The problem is, even as that fog fully goes away, lots of clouds, and here come some showers just in time for your evening festivities for New Year's Eve. 53 degrees right now in Ashland, 53 Petersburg, 54 Crew, 52 West Point and Tappahannock. Here we go. Cloudy skies at 10, 56. We get to 2 p.m., maybe some glimmers of sunshine. At best, 66. And then we're looking at spotty showers developing around 8 p.m. and we'll continue that risk of spotty showers through midnight tonight when the ball drops and we say hello 2022. Hello, Traffic Tracker 8. Time to talk about this issue I was just mentioning on I-95 southbound near Arthur Ashe Boulevard. We're slowing things down coming out of the tech center, rounding the bend, going into that because people are moving over. You can see the cab, the shipping container. They're really working on this and have been for quite some time. The ramp to 95 at Arthur Ashe is still open, but obviously a very slow go. Also have an accident still. Pocahontas Parkway entry ramp from 95 northbound. Keep that one in mind. As far as the rest of your travel outside of this one area, look at how light the volume is. That's great news. So your drive times are also looking good. Let's get to Rachel now for your news.
Thanks, Matt. The highly contagious Omicron variant continues to run rampant, putting a burden on hospital staff across Virginia. Now, healthcare workers are urging people with mild symptoms to stay away from the emergency room. 8 News reporter Autumn Childress is live in Richmond with more. Good morning, Autumn.
Rachel, good morning. Right now, Virginia is in its 5th surge of this pandemic with more than 2,000 people hospitalized with COVID. Healthcare workers are now saying if your symptoms are mild, stay away from the emergency room. Now, the Virginia Department of Health and the Virginia Hospital and Healthcare Association released a joint statement on this. They say if you have mild COVID symptoms, a cough, runny nose, sore throat, go to your primary care doctor. Emergency COVID symptoms are difficulty breathing, intense chest pain, or a high temperature. The agency says unnecessary trips put a strain on an already burdened hospital staff. It also delays care and uses up resources like testing kits and PPE. Now, by the numbers this morning, more than 2,000 people are in the hospital with COVID in Virginia. On December 1st, it was only 922. Right now, Virginia hospitals are staying afloat with the surge, but doctors say we likely won't see the peak for several more weeks. Now, compared to last year at this time, hospitalizations and cases are down. Doctors thanking the vaccine for that. Meanwhile, again, they are urging the vaccine and the booster shot, saying the majority of patients hospitalized with COVID don't have the vaccine. Live in Richmond this morning, Autumn Childress, 8 News.
Thanks, Autumn. Chesterfield's Rockwood Vaccination Center is changing its hours in the new year. Starting on Monday, the center off Hull Street Road will be open from 8 a.m. to 5:30 Monday through Saturday. First, second, and COVID-19 vaccine boosters will be available. The center will be closed this weekend. As COVID cases reach new highs, hard-hit small businesses fear pandemic relief funding is falling short. After applying for the aid over a year ago, Retro Hospitality CEO Paul Cooper is still waiting for a check. Last month, the state's grant application manager estimated it could take 10 months for the staff to review a backlog of 8,000 businesses. However, existing funding is not expected to meet the need. Governor Ralph Northam's budget proposal includes half the amount requested. Cooper says more needs to be done.
And we're just hoping that the governor hears us, that there's a response, and that these funds are expedited to so many companies that need them now.
In a recent interview, Governor-elect Glenn Youngkin did not commit to a larger investment in rebuilding Virginia, instead detailing other plans to support small businesses like tax relief. Chesterfield police are searching for a mother of an infant after a video of her shaking her son goes viral. Police say on Wednesday a video began circulating that showed 20-year-old Astrid Sanchez Diaz roughly handling her 4-month-old son. Anyone that may know where she is asked to call Chesterfield police. New this morning, the State Department of Education is investing $12 million for new school safety equipment. Nearly 600 schools across the Commonwealth will get security cameras, mass notification systems, visitor ID, access control, and other security upgrades. Several local districts have faced threats recently. Hopewell will get a big chunk of that money, over $200,000. The Isle of Wight NAACP is speaking out after Attorney General Mark Herring filed a discrimination lawsuit against the town of Windsor. The town claims Herring's actions are for political gain. But in a statement released last night, the NAACP said Windsor's, quote, knee-jerk reaction is a reflection of their culture and that they are thankful for Herring's efforts. Now, last December, Windsor police pulled over Black National Guard Lieutenant Karan Nazario. Body cam video shows the officers pointing guns at him and pepper spraying him. Herring says an investigation revealed a pattern of officers there treating African-American drivers unfairly. Well, Ryan Seacrest and Liza Koshy will be joining you this evening for Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve. Always a good time. This is the live event's 50th anniversary. ABC's Sandy Kenyon spoke to the hosts ahead of the festivities.
After last year's low-key celebration, New Year's Rockin' Eve this time will be, if not a full return to normal, then a move back in the right direction.
Our expectation at this point is about 25% of a normal capacity, who will all go through the standard protocols to get into Times Square, and they'll be distanced down there.
LL Cool J was forced to cancel after testing positive for COVID, and so did Chloe. But that still leaves plenty of performers like Karol G and Journey set to perform a medley of hits just before midnight.
We're vaccinated, we're getting our tests regularly, and we're keeping distance and separation, but we're going to put on a big show for hours and hours live from Times Square.
Ryan Seacrest is joined by internet sensation Liza Koshy.
Does the Omicron variant and some of the precautions necessary, does it add an extra layer of tension or not?
You know, not at all. When you're working with professionals like Ryan and the wonderful family that comes with this entire production, no, not at all.
The show featuring and remembers the man who thought up the idea.
Dick Clark reporting from Times Square on New Year's Rockin' Eve.
The late Dick Clark was Ryan's mentor.
I do every year, Sandy, just before we go on the air, sort of have a moment with myself where I think about his influence on me.
To every viewer, he seemed like a friend. And so it is with Ryan.
Ryan Seacrest and Dick Clark, they're the ones who raised me to have this New Year's energy all year round.
The idea here is to turn the page and get ready for a new start.
It looks like it's a challenging beginning of 2022, but hopefully we will have 1 million people back in Times Square next year.
Sandy Kenyon, ABC News, New York.
You're watching 8 News at 9, covering news where you live. Time check 9:40 on a Friday morning. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hello everyone, 9:43. You're watching 8 News at 9. Shot right here. Our rocket slanted camera looking up over toward the city. Heavy on the clouds, most of the fog burning off, but still kind of a yucky day. We'll break down your complete storm tracker rate forecast, and we'll talk about that risk of snow for Monday morning coming up in a couple of minutes. Right now, here's Rachel Keller with more news.
Thanks so much, Matt. Well, as we turn the page on 2021, it's time to set our New Year's resolutions. Well, maybe you want to exercise more, eat healthy, or even get out of debt. But how do we stick with it and actually achieve our desired result? It starts with setting the right goal. ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi has more.
We've all been here before. You make your New Year's resolution, but then you give up just a few months in. Dr. Ayelet Fishback, professor at the University of Chicago and author of Get It Done, has some tips on setting and achieving your resolutions for 2022. First, Dr. Fishback says it's important to set the right goal.
We often find that it's better if the goal is enticing, if it is intrinsically motivating. Setting your goal as finding a job is better than setting it as applying for a job, because applying for a job is a chore. It's not very enticing.
Aim for a do goal versus a do not goal.
So we distinguish between do goals, for example, to eat healthier food, and do not goals, which could be do not eat junk food. In general, do goals are easier to follow.
Setting a goal like be happy is too abstract since we might not know what to do about it. Instead, consider goals like start a relationship or help others.
Things are not going to always work as we plan.
Try to consider what obstacles you might run into so you're better prepared when you hit a roadblock.
Maybe you should add something that's fun. So when we ask gym goers to incorporate more fun to their exercise, they were more likely to stick with it.
And when you get stuck, remember what you've already achieved. Give yourself the advice you'd give to others and think about why you got stuck so you can improve your strategy and move forward. Mona Kosar Abdi, ABC News, New York.
The most accurate forecast in Central Virginia. Now, your Storm Tracker 8 weather.
All right, good evening, good afternoon. Good evening, what time it is. Good morning, everybody. The fog is mostly gone, but the clouds persist. 63 by the lunch hour. We're going to climb today into the middle 60s. And as we head into this evening, there's going to be the risk of seeing a few showers. Those showers will be around until about midnight. Then we'll have a break. But by 3 to 4 a.m., our next batch of rain comes on in, and that will last into the early afternoon on New Year's Day. Let's just quickly talk about New Year's Eve. Again, heading out this evening, maybe doing a late dinner, 8 p.m., 62 degrees, there was some showers around. Bye-bye to 2021 and hello 2022. Going to keep that risk of showers through midnight. And then tomorrow morning you wake up, we're wet, rain coming down. Rain will come to an end around noon, 66 at that point, up to 70, very mild. Of course, many of you are excited about the risk of maybe some snow on Monday morning. Head to WRIC.com and check out the article I wrote as to why this might not be the system you want for snow. All has to do with what's called a changeover event and timing that cold air, and the timing just doesn't look right. All right, 66 today, spotty showers this evening. Tomorrow, rain in the morning, showers end by noon, 70. Rain early Sunday morning, then a break up to 68, and then we're looking at more rain Sunday night. Changing over to at least a very brief wintry mix for some, but not really affecting travel at this point on Monday. And then notice by Monday morning, the sun's back, and that lasts at least to the middle of next week.
Okay, good to know. So if folks are heading out tonight for New Year's Eve,
have an umbrella just in case because of those spotty showers.
All right, good to know. Thanks so much. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you at noon.